The classic jump through the windshield. Haven't seen that since Venture Brothers. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. We are in Season 3, and we just got done the setup to, I guess, is going to be another big fight. We had what? Megumi and Panda getting ready to, I guess, fight everyone of Kinji's bodyguards off camera. By off camera, I mean off camera in universe, not off camera for us to watch. And then it seems like Yuji is about to get in a fight with Kinji himself and maybe Kirara. So, that to look forward to this episode. That said, though, we come back as we normally do with notes, comments, and a board. So to look at the board first thing. Now, obviously, I've probably got to do something to make the board more visible. I guess maybe I should cram things together more. Because obviously, I think this is a bit unviewable. Granted, there is a link down below for you guys to click if you want to see it in a much more zoomable fashion. Anyway, all I've really added is that I marked Yaga as dead. I added Atsuya's sister, Takaru, John Bobby, Kinji Hikari, and Kirara Hoshi. Obviously, I've also... Sorry, I didn't write this down in my notes, but I've marked Kinji and Kirara with a purple line connecting them. I put a green line connecting John Bobby. I probably should have connected John Bobby, at least a Panda, maybe even Yuji himself. Otherwise, everybody else's connections is done up on the family board. So, that said, on to notes. I don't have them in, I didn't have them in the family tree before, but I've decided to list all of Yaga's creations as his family. Panda should have been obvious to me before, but I'm also going to include Takaru and cross him in with his previous family as well, since Yaga had to include more than just information of the original person in there with them. Speaking of Takaru, what a painful existence that must be if they pay even the slightest bit of attention. The information of a kid that died, no longer in their body, and can hear Yaga telling other people that they are not the person that they think that they are, all the while keeping up the facade that their mother is their mother, and at the same time, seeing their mother, who is desperate for their child to be alive again, clearly willing to look past the element that this isn't the same. We don't have a real conception of what information really means. For you Star Trek fans out there, the transporter problem, or you classic nuts, the ship of Theseus. If I took your body away and reduced you down to just your thoughts, how much of that could I replace before you wouldn't be you anymore? In the opposite scenario, a person retaining their body but losing mental faculty, a lot of the mind has to go before people start to say that you are no longer the you that they knew, which even then is entirely based on that person's perception of you. If we applied that same metric to the bodiless you, or the you in another body, then that residual you might be very small for someone to still hold on to it as you. Smaller still if you are someone extremely close to that person and grieving, as per Atsuya's sister. It's a pretty in-depth question that I feel like we're not going to cover, so just a food for thought, I guess. It's a curse, Yaga said. Is it because of the emotional toll, the weight of being able to extend a life past death, but in such a perverse way? Is it a curse because it's going to be something that's needed down the road that Yaga didn't have the strength to face when it came? Is it something that Kenjaku will eventually need that Yaga was trying to keep the secret, but chose to curse the man who killed him with the knowledge before he died? I'm sure this is something that is blaringly obvious to everyone else, but for me, it remains a mystery as to why exactly it is a curse, and, I guess more specifically, why he chose not to live longer by revealing it, yet revealed it in the end anyways. I don't know, maybe they went over the articles of Jujutsu Sorcery back in Season 1, and I just, again, in the notes that I didn't take. Sorry, I probably cut it out, but I sneezed there, that's why I was talking weirdly. Again, the notes I didn't take, but taking them now. So obviously, Article 8, secrecy. Sorcerers must not reveal the existence of sorcery, curses, and cursed objects to non-sorcerers. However, this shall not apply when it is necessary to fulfill the duties of the previous article. I don't have the previous article written down. I assume that has something to do with accomplishing a mission or defending people or whatever. Because obviously my thoughts went to, what's his name? Um, the guy who got idol transfiguration. His mother got idol transfiguration back in season 1. But then I realized Yuji didn't really reveal anything until he already had stuff, right? So wasn't he breaking that power back then? Anyway, the actual note that I have. Our new guy is evidently breaking this article by having fist fights between sorcerers in front of non-sorcerers. I guess the people lucky or unlucky enough do not have anything unlocked by idol transfiguration. So it's currently the 10th, just taking a note to keep track of the passage of time, because I think I asked, or didn't ask, I mentioned during the reaction that I did not remember who said what day it was, so now I know, now it's in the paperwork. The other third year's technique is a problem, said Panda, so whatever Kirara's power is, it was troublesome for Panda, who never even got to meet Kinji yet. And as we find out, it's something about creating infinite distance between objects, or so it seems. I say, having already stated many times now how shit I am at understanding what people's powers are on sight, so if that's not what the indication was, I missed it. While I was watching that last scene of the episode and commenting on how it felt different, but great for its constant movement, I don't know if I said it or not, and I probably didn't, but the thing that was coming to my mind was that it felt like a Scanner Darkly, which was a rotoscope movie featuring Keanu Reeves back in the early 2000s. Well, come to find out that this scene felt like that because it was rotoscoped. Go figure. The one time I hold something back from saying, and I would have been entirely right in saying it. Alright, and last note that I have here. I guess Kinji's technique has something to do with subway doors. That's what those flashes looked like to me. Like he was trying to close doors on Yuji. Again, I got no read on how powers work other than observing them or having the user tell us directly. I'd be so dead in this universe. Alright, as I said though, we have a comment from Alex V9 from the episode Perfect Preparation. Let's see, Season 2, Episode 4 and 16. Toji sold Megumi to the Zenin clan. The deal with Nabuto was only for Megumi's sale price. If he possessed any curse technique, his value would be 7, but if he possessed the clan's treasured curse technique, the 10 Shadows, his value would be 10. It is unknown whether this is in millions or billions of yen. In the world of sorcery, clans immediately make the person born with the treasured cursed technique their clan leader. Of course, those born with such a technique are educated to serve the clan's purpose. This is why, since Megumi didn't grow up within the clan, they are more inclined to eliminate him than accept him. Yeah, but is the 10 Shadows the Zenin clan's treasure technique? Because I would have thought that Nabato's technique was the treasured technique, vis-a-vis Nabuya being Noya. Sorry, I keep wanting to put a B in his name. Him following the path of, Nabuto. Again, in the opening credits, Nabuto seems to favor him. He seems to have a power almost exactly like Nabato's. So it seems like that's the treasure technique. I don't know, I guess the element that is that Megumi is Toji's son. So I guess that would be the technique that's passed down. Though it is the oddity of that technique being passed down by somebody who had no cursed energy. I don't know. I understand what you are saying. Season 2, Episode 14, Falling Blossom Emotion is a secret general technique that consists of using one's own cursed energy to automatically attack within a certain radius, including blind spots. Essentially, it's a instantaneous reaction in any direction. Okay, I do not remember what was happening in Season 2, Episode 14, where Falling Blossom Emotion would have been used. Okay, I mean, good, cool. I don't think we're ever going to see it again. I mean, maybe you're telling me because we will see it again, but that guy's dead. unless he's going to recover from having the top of his head cut off. Clarifying Maki's situation, she possessed a heavenly restriction equal to Toji's. The only problem is that having been born as a twin, Mai's cursed energy was shared with her, which incompleted her restriction. With Mai's death, after using all her cursed energy to create an exact replica of the Soul Split Katana, Season 2, Episode 3 and 4, Maki has reached Toji's level. Is that what that was? I think she called it something else. Also, argument. She did not use all of her cursed energy to create that item. As she said specifically, I will take the rest of the energy with me, vis-a-vis when she dies. She says, I will die making this item, though. I mean, I guess you could argue that if she's dying with the energy, she's using the last of it to create it. Devil's argument. You know what I mean. I will meet you in the middle on that one. However, she does say, I will take the energy with me, which, is also where that element is coming from, as you were saying. That she's fulfilling her restriction by not having that power between the two of them. I guess I didn't say anything, but I recognize that was also the motif of the, what do you call it? Sorry, my brain is like melting already. It's like 4 a.m. Well, what do you call it? The flight of the birds. And, they fly in a formation to reduce the drag on all the other birds, except for the one that's in the lead. And they kept showing us the two on the side that were independent and dragging themselves along. And I think that's the visual metaphor we're supposed to be going with there. That's why they kept focusing on it in the scene of the beach, or whatever you want to call that. Since the first season when you were choosing Mai, I've been expecting this moment. I'm glad you're enjoying the season so far. I hope you have a good day. Well, half of that will happen. I am enjoying the season so far. Yeah, well, I enjoyed Mai because I have the same kind of taste, probably, as Todo and Yuji, so... But still sad. Still sad to see them go. And not for nothing, as I said, I've clearly switched to Maki now that I know what Maki is like, and she's like the characters that I enjoy. And again, puts her above Todo in my books, unless Todo comes back super serious. Although actually, doesn't have to be super serious. Kenpachi's not super serious all the time. I don't know, just Todo's not the fighting guy that I was hoping he would be. Anyway, that is the end of your comments. That is the end of the board. That is the end of the notes. So nothing left to do but to see how this episode pans out.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Again, Megumi and Panda taking people off camera. I anticipate this is what the scene is. The fuck? That was somebody just jumping into a shadow, right? I keep forgetting. Megumi's literally was in the comment we just read. 10 shadows. I'm guessing Kirura is supposed to be out here, but I don't know if I'm saying their name right. Because it's just Kira with an extra RA. Kirura? Also, that was her right in front of the camera. Or them. Thank you, it is Kirura.
パンダちゃんの手引きで侵入したってことは光線の人間ってことはユウちゃんも光線の人間。
I forget.
金ちゃんが
I know Kinji got kicked out.
相談が
Oh, Kinji got kicked out, but did Kira get kicked out as well? They're both third years. I almost was about to say, it seemed like a rewind.
パンダ先輩の話から察すると近づけなかったのか。
パンダちゃんにはマーキング済みだもんね。
Is it a rewind? Are they just putting them back to where they used to be? It's a hard sell that you're not the enemies when a wolf just about tried to bite their head off. Is it magnetism? Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm saying oh, okay, as though I understand. I noticed there was words written on Panda's gut, I guess. And I recognized that there was words written on the door that Yuji was walking into when he entered the room with Kinji. And I read them. I didn't make a note about it. I read them and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I guess most specifically because before I started my rewatch of last episode to take my notes, I was taking notes on an episode of Mobile Suit Gundam Zeta for me and Lesson's reaction to later today. And in that, there was a paused scene where a piece of scrap is floating by, and I guess one of the artists decided to write "Made by Sunrise" and their name and omake on it. So I just spotted the words. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'll make a note of that for that later reaction. And then I spotted that on the door. And that was just a name, it looked like. But it looks like it's not the same name that's written on Panda's gut. So, again, maybe they can connect words. Sorry, I'll address this right now real quick. I am acutely aware that Kirura is a transgendered person, which is why I'm trying to use they, them kind of lingo. It's not important enough to address because they're not addressing it themselves.
平原さん、俺たちは今正確には高専側ではありません。東京が現状どうなっているか知ってますよね。各地で発生してい
I
る
feel like they have stars in their eyes, literal stars in their eyes.
呪術テロがあったんです。はかりさんの協力が必要なんです。
そっちが先に私たちをハブったんじゃん。自業自得でしょ。
だから高専側じゃないって。上と何があったんですか。
保守派と揉めたんだ。そんで保守派の保守ってのは何も規定に対してのスタンスの話だけじゃない。呪術とはこうあるべきみたいな思想があんだよ。釘先の術式なんかがわかりやすい。保守派好みの呪術。
Do we have to invoke her? She's fucking dead. Come on.
呪いのビデオとかさ、時代が進めば呪術だってニューテクと絡むことがある。それが術式にまで及ぶと保守派はうるせえのよ。
金ちゃんの術式はその典型だからね。上のバカどもそんなんだから負けんのよ。でもさ、あんたらは五条悟にいくらでもケツ吹いてもらえるじゃん。私らに頼る意味がわかんない。ってことは
I mean, he could put infinite distance between shit in your ass, yeah.
五条先生は封印されました。だから負けたんです。
Yeah, that's what I expected.
ああ。
I thought we were gonna get a gawking face.
まあ気持ちはわかるけど。
でもこの人ははかりさんに一番近い人だ。だっと。
Well, this might work. Can't mark them all, right? Nope. Apparently you can mark them all.
すごい量。何のつもりかな。私の術式は呪力にマーキングするから、式神は術師と同一に扱われる。こ
Okay.
のままだとさっきのワンコみたいに引き寄せられた自分の式神に押しつぶされて窒息するよ。
I thought they were marking individuals.
パンダ先輩、だとどうでした？
俺の次に可愛かった。
何に近づけて何に近づけなかったか聞いてんですよ。
ああ、俺とそっちの2階は問題なく行けてた。キララとモニタールームの
Okay, Megumi's figured it out.
パンダ先輩の体のどこかに星マークと名前がついてませんか？
え、あ、IMAI。
俺のどこかに。
今って書いて
だったと同じアクルックス。玉剣にもあるんだろうな。
So it is like magnetism in a way.
お分かりはしないが、ここ。
I figured one out
わかりました。
as the fight was
術
happening.
式の種は星座です。
そこまでならわかるやつはわかる。
モチーフの星座は
I mean, this is the simplest shit ever. I'm proud of myself.
南十字。
顔に出た。お互いにマジかって顔したな。私の術式のモチーフが南十字星だという確信はなかったんだけど、私もマジかって顔しちゃった。確信を与えちゃった。
It's cute.
このまま術式をカンパされる。
I like this character.
モニタールームに入られる。ここで足止めをする。
再び膠着か。しかしマジで南十字だった。積み木に感謝だな。でもこれ以上は何も知らん。つうか南十字
Random view of his sister not hospitalized.
やっぱりパンダ先輩とは近づける。先輩、南十字座って星4つですよね。
え、そりゃ十字だし。
そりゃそうなるよな。キララさんの術式はそれぞれに南十字の星を割り振って適当な距離を取らせるものだと思ったんです。でもキララさんは扉に近づけるし、俺とパンダ先輩同士も近づける。
単純に俺たちの星とキララと扉の星が反発するようになってるとか。
だったらキララさんが今モニタールームに逃げ込まないのはおかしいですよ。
あ、そうか。内側で扉
Well,
にべったりされ
I
て
guess they're kind of proving me wrong.
じゃあこういうのはどうだ？ある星 A は他の星 B に近づけるが B からは A に近づけない。こんな感じでそれぞれの星には相性があって相性がいい星にのみ近づけるじゃんけん説。
でも俺とパンダ先輩は近づいてもお互い自由に動けていますよね。
じゃあ違うか。
ルートの決められたスタンプラリーみたいにそれぞれに近づける順番があるんじゃないでしょうか。そんで同じ星をくっつけ
How's that like a stamp?
なるほど。でも
Okay, I don't know what a stamp rally is, so that's clearly where I'm falling apart
そ
here.
れはないです。本人も玉剣と距離取らされてました。今キララさんは俺たちが何かしら条件を満たして自分の目の届かないところでモニタールームに侵入されることを警戒している。
となると星は5つ以上だな。
はい。スタンプラリー説が正しかったとして星4つなら俺かパンダ先輩はキララさんに近づけるはずなんで、間に5つ目の星があってそこを経由しないとキララさんと扉に近づけない。
I mean, unless it's
6つ7つあったらどうする？
さすがにないと信じたいですね。
unless it's Kenji himself, and in which case you can't get past him to get into the door because he's inside the door. No, no, I'm wrong.
パンダ先輩、
大丈夫だ。問題ない。シグロ星を探せ。
投げちゃダメですよ。
Yeah. You're just pummeling yourself. So ironically not too different from that guy back in season 2 who can only get taken down by light hits. I'm only mentioning him in the element that you're beating yourself up the more effort you put in.
あらかじめ誰かしらの呪力を込めなければならないんじゃないのか。やっぱりだ。車からキララさん以外の呪力の残影。術式範囲が広くないのであれば、もう一つの星の残影も。
Did they reverse mark the ground? No.
俺たち3人以外の残影はもう見当たらない。キララさんはすでに自分の呪力に星をつけていて、物に俺と同じアクルックスの星をつけるために自身の呪力は使えないから、さっきの車のように俺に物は飛ばせない。あれに触れればキララさんに近づける。
伏黒の仮説は正しい。キララの術式ラブランデブーは南十字座をモチーフとし、5つの星を対象の呪力に割り振る。星が別の
I was so proud because I thought I'd figured it out.
定められた順序を守らねばならず、同じ星同士は一方に引き寄せられる。
君すごいじゃん。マジで私の術式のこと分かってるんだ。
パンダ先輩。
順序とは星座の奥行き。平面的に見える星座にも当然奥行きがあり、
Oh, I mean, I like that aspect.
距離はそれぞれ異なる。
Let's throw some fucking science into this.
私の呪力についた星ギナを外して君と同じアクルックスの星をつければいいだけじゃん。なんでどこから。いやそうか、あの子まだ一度もワンコの式紙を解除してなかったんだ。
Yeah, and changing the order of things.
どっちが引かれるかも見破られた。自分と式紙の間に壁を挟んで引き寄せられる式紙を壁に突っ掛けておく。そして私が戦場に立ったらワンコを放つ。ラブランデブ解除。
The classic jump through the windshield. Haven't seen that since Venture Brothers.
聞いてください。
Again, I felt so proud because I thought I'd figured it out. And nothing so simple as magnetism. That's a Naruto Bleach thing. Things are way more complicated here.
本当に今の狙ったの。ワンコと君どっちが引っ張られるかなんてわかんないじゃん。
そこは賭けでしたが今わかりました。呪力出力が高い方に引っ張られますよね。初めは俺が玉剣に引っ張られたのに、キララさんの攻撃をガードしようと呪力で強化した今回、結果が逆になった。
君1年生？ほんと可愛げな。
お願いします。時間がありません。話を聞いてください。
I mean, it's working out here, I feel like.
分かったよ。
Put in there, yeah.
虎杖、伏黒、パンダ先輩、手出すなよ。
Sorry, the rabbit still being there is funny.
なめるじゃねえか。
ほら、こ
んなガキさっきから避ける気がねえ。イかれてんな。
れは渋谷での戦いとは違う。 はかり先輩に俺を認めさせるためのいわば儀式だ。もうよけねえ。反撃もしねえ。この人が折れるまで。
面白い。話は聞いてやる。お前が立ってるじゃな。
金ちゃん、この子たち金ちゃんに助けてほしいんだって。話を聞いてあげて。
今聞くっつったろ。
I mean, see, he also had no more passion. I'm really confused. I keep feeling like passion is his power,
な
but
あいただれ。なんで俺だよ。俺たち初対面だよな。なんで俺を耐える。
先輩たちがあんたは強いと言ったからだ。
だと思ったよ。術師が術師にするお願いは一緒に命を懸けてくださいが前提だろうが。てめえは俺に命を懸けさせるだけの熱を今ここで伝えなきゃなんねんだよ。
it really feels like that's what he's
そう
doing.
いうことが人に言われてきましたで。やがのそう何してんだよ。おいヘタレが間引いとけや。
俺に熱なんてねえよ。
Also, you gotta share with him that Yaga's dead.
俺は部品だ。術師が呪いを払うため、払い続けるための部品。
That's the name of the episode.
超つまんねえじゃん。
やばい、いたのにもういい。
Man, you just getting the Noia treatment.
見てえだろ。五条さんが言うにはな、俺の磁力は他のやつよりざらついてるらしいぜ。死んだか。おいパンダおウニ頭、さっさと板取り連れてうせろ。二度と。
I mean, this is my favorite power from Breaker. If you ever read that
俺は部品だ。
manhwa.
部品には役割なんだろ。呪いを払い続ける俺の役割。それにはかり先輩が必要だっていうのなら、あんたが首を縦に振るまでつきまとう。
Like 100 chapters of Breaker. Breaker's only power is take a punch and get back up.
先輩、あんたの役割は何だ。
こいつ、これが部品の熱かよ。
That's poetic in itself, I guess.
何発でも。
金ちゃん、熱くなってるんじゃない？
熱に嘘はつけねえ。
Does he get weaker the more passion he is? Or am I just looking too far into the use of the word passion?
取引だ。
解決、納得してもらえたんですか？
うん。
ありがとうございます。
いいよ。上の連中は嫌いだけどね。なんやかんや高専で人助けしてた金ちゃんが一番熱かったから。
うん？
リンゴンリンゴンリンゴンリンゴンリンゴンリンゴン。プレイヤーによる死滅回遊へのルール追加が行われます。
The game hasn't started yet. Can we do that?
プレイヤーは他プレイヤーの情報、名前、得点、ルール追加回数、対流コロニー。
Well, that's helpful to us, the viewer.
5ポイントが追加されました。
足りねえだろ、殺したんだから。
Okay, so I guess someone out there just killing a bunch of people, just accruing a lot of points.
400年前の方が幾分マシだった。
Okay, a past sorcerer.
得点が200を超えました。100ポイント消費して死滅回遊にルールを追加しますか？
そうか、ルール。名前と
So that they might not know that Sukuna isn't Yuji.
ルール追加すると減っちまうか。じゃあルールの追加回数もだな。それからどこのコロニーにいるか。小金、ルール追加。全プレイヤーの情報を開示させろ。
Okay, new person. See, I don't know if people know. Not people. I don't know if the former sorcerers that knew of Sukuna know who Sukuna's host is. Because getting that information, they would know where Yuji is, right? Okay, there's two problems I'm having here. One, that guy is from 400 years ago, apparently. That does not mean that he's from 1,000 years ago to know that what Sukuna had done. However, I guess everybody after that would know what Sukuna had done by virtue of being after that in the timeline. And this guy's talking about Sukuna, so he must know. That doesn't automatically then also mean that he knows that Yuji is Sukuna's host. And the other major thing that's getting confusing me is, again, it's nighttime now, so technically if it's after 12 o'clock, they should still have 8 days left? Because again, it's the 10th, and they had 19 days. So, is it 19 days the cutoff? I'm just in that vagary of, like, fate rules, right? When does the Grail War start? Is the moment you get a servant in the Grail War at the beginning of the fight?
夢と現実の狭間。まじないさ。なんで俺の名前を知ってる？俺は虎杖と違う。ひとたび足を踏み入れたらお前もプレイヤー。積み木が海遊を抜けるルールを作らせる。
Okay, I guess I forgot a rule there, because it feels like they just covered it the next time. Once you step into a colony, which implies that just a bunch of people had stepped into a colony and a bunch of people died already. Thus the rule addition. Okay, so it's 19 days to make the choice to enter a colony or leave a colony. Got it. That's the mistake I was making. Already clarified. Don't have to comment. I got that. Obviously, I think half of this episode was the learning about Kirara's power. Obviously, pretty good, amazing part of the episode. In that, one, I was led on to think that I was right, and then the show proved how stupid I was. Because one, I don't know anything about the fucking Southern Cross. Ugh. I'm not expecting someone to run up here with the powers of the Big Dipper or something. Like, constellations I have some minute knowledge of. Southern Cross, well beyond me. And in the element of knowing the order of stars closest and furthest from Earth, wouldn't have known that. Megumi figuring out the names of the stars by the things written on them. I guess granted they had the star and then a name. So I guess that was a clue. Not on my radar at all. I thought Kirara just had a thing for, like, doodle. So I guess I also indicated they had stars in their eyes. I was looking at the clues and saying out loud and just not figuring it out. So yeah. I enjoyed that half, even though I really felt dumb the further it went on. Kin coming out and just punching the shit out of him. I got flashbacks to Vinland Saga, where I believe everyone knows and disagrees with me that my point of view was that was fucking stupid. I have no enemies. That is the stupidest thing you could ever do. Also, Bear Puncher should have killed Thorfinn, punching him 99 times in the face. So, yeah. So, reliving that with this, I get it. I'm a cog. This is what I'm important for. This is what I'm here for. But even then, Yuji would have fucking died had it not been for Kirara convincing him to back down. So, just like Thorfinn, the get punched as many times as you can in the face plan doesn't work. So yeah, sorry, I just don't have much to talk about here because it was mostly the first part, and I talked out all my feelings about it when that was happening. And I have the most unpopular take when it comes to Vinland Saga, and what was going on here, the mirror of that. So, yeah, I guess we're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to see what happens next time. So, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?